Hello and welcome. In this video series, I am going to cover another interesting Snowflake topic, which is Snowflake conditional expression functions. This is a part 2 video of Snowflake function series. There are many conditional expression functions available in Snowflake, and I will try to cover as much as I can. So if you ever use any other databases like PostgreSQL or Oracle, etc., you might be familiar with some of the Snowflake conditional expression functions here. Alright, let's look at the demo. I have already prepared Snowflake worksheet for this demo. So let's look at our first function, which is 0 if null. So this function will replace null with 0. So let's run this select query. As we can see, our column 1 first row is 1. That means it's not null and it will return value as it is. For this null value, we are making it to 0. So whenever there is a use case to replace this null value with some number, with 0, then we can use this function. Next, we have regar underscore val y and regar underscore val x. So for val y, we have returns null if the second argument is null, else it returns the first argument. For regar underscore val x, it returns the null if the first argument is null, otherwise it returns the second argument. So let's look at the select query of it. Here we can see for regar underscore val y, we can see it returns the null if the second argument is null. We can see the second argument is 5. That means it will go to else and it will return the first argument, that is 1. Next, we have regar underscore val x, where we have same two arguments 1 and 5, but it will return null if the first argument is null. As we can see, there is no null value, so it will go to else and it will return the second argument, which is 5. Let's look at another example, which is regar underscore val y, where I am passing null and 6. Here we can see for val y, we have returns null if the second argument is null. As we can see here, we have first argument null but not second. That means we'll go to else and we'll return the first argument, which is null. For regar underscore val x, it says it returns null if the first argument is null. As we can see, it has first argument null, means we'll return null. Okay, so let's look at next function, which is nvl. In nvl, if argument 1 is null, it returns argument 2, else it will return argument 1. So let's run this select query. As we can see, for the first nvl function, we are passing hello and second argument as world. Here argument 1 is not null, that means it will just return first argument as it is. In the next two arguments, we can see it's a null and 100. That means if the argument 1 is null, it will return the argument 2. So what it will do, it will just return this 100 over here. Next, when both are null, we will simply return the null. And when the first argument is null, it will simply return that first argument. Okay, so let's go to the next function, which is nvl2. So it's slightly different. Here in nvl2, if the argument 1 is not null, then it returns argument 2. If argument 1 is null, then it returns argument 3. So nvl2 accepts 3 arguments. So let's create sample database for this. Let's create table. Let's insert one record over here. And if we, let's say, try to run this query, as we can see, we are getting this error, which is numeric value hello is not recognized, because for NVL2 we should have same data type, or it must be like int and double, which is acceptable, or it must be string or varchar. So this kind of related data types are valid. So this value is not valid here for the NVL2. So what we can do, we can simply truncate the table and we'll insert same data type value or values which are having same data type. Next, we can test this select query now. So here we can see we have ID, name and age column, and here what is happening, if argument 1 is not null, here we can see argument 1 is null, that means it will go here. If argument 1 is null, then it returns argument 3, that means it will just return the 6. Next, if argument 1 is not null, here argument 1 is 2, then it returns argument 2. That's why it is returning this null value over here. Next, as we can see, argument 1 is not null, then it returns argument 2, and argument 2 here is 222, so it will just return 222. Next, we can also use NVL function inside NVL2. So if I want to replace this null value, let's say with 0, then I can simply use this select query, and if I run it, as we can see, we have replaced that null with 0. Next is null if. So in this function, it returns null if argument 1 matches with the argument 2, otherwise it returns argument 1. So if I run this query, we can see argument 1 is null and argument 2 is 6. So here null, it returns null if argument 1 matches with the argument 2. Here argument 1 is not matching with the argument 2, that means it will just return the argument 1, which is null, and here as well. Next, we can see the list function. So this list function, it returns the minimum value from the list of arguments. So if I run this query, we can see it has returned the minimum value, which is 10. So the good thing about this function is it doesn't matter which data type we use, for example string, int, decimal or variant, it will just find out the minimum value for us. Next function is the greatest function. Here as well we can see it will pass the greatest value. So these two are very simple functions but very powerful. So next we have IFF, which is like if then else type and allows only single condition. So if you remember the case statements in SQL, you can see we can write multiple when and then, but here this allows only single if then else condition. So here we can check. So if I run this query, I can see it has returned smaller, that means 10 is greater than 20, which is false, that's why it will return smaller, that means smaller value. Next, if we look at the another example, here I am passing 3 values, which is 1, 2 and null, and I can see for 1 is greater than 1, which is false, that's why it is returning smaller. Next, 2 is greater than 1, which is true, that's why it will return greater. And null is greater than 1, the condition will be false and it will return smaller. Next function is equal underscore null. So this is different than our equal to operator, because equal underscore null treats null as known values, whereas with this operator, this operator doesn't know about the null values. So here, if I run this select statement, I can see it has successfully matched this null value as well, and it has returned for that true. So I'm creating three rows, 1, 2 and null, and at this third row it is matching. Next, this is very useful function, decode. What it does is it compares column value with each search value. If search result match, corresponding result is returned. Let's see the example. So if I run this select query, I can see this is a column 1 that I am passing. Next, I am using decode. The syntax is, first I need to pass that column name. Next, I need to write a condition, like whenever there is a 1, I need to change it to 1 in words. Whenever there is a 2, I need to change it to 2. And whenever there is a null, I will add the invalid over here. Next, another function is coalesce. It returns null if all the argument values are null, else it returns first non-null value. Okay, so let's look at the example. As we can see over here is, it returns null if all argument values are null. So here we can see for column 1, column 2 and column 3, we have all null values. That's why it has returned null. Else it returns first non-null value. So we can see out of this, at this second row, out of this column 1, 2, 3, we can see the first non-null value is 1. So that's why it has returned 1. At the third row, we can see the first non-null value is 2. That's why it has returned 2. And at the fourth row, it has returned 10 because it's a first non-null value. So thank you for watching this tutorial, and make sure to subscribe to my channel for latest video updates.